Hello, welcome to my channel once again. My name is Sami. Today in this video, I'll be giving you tips for writing an outstanding motivation letter or statement of purpose for your admission process or for your scholarship application. For the purpose of those who may not be familiar with what a motivation letter is or a statement of purpose is, it is one of the documents that is usually required as part of the application document if you are applying for admission, especially at postgraduate level for master's, PhD, and it is generally typically required when you're also applying for a scholarship, most especially international scholarships. And what does this motivation letter or statement of purpose mean? It's a document where they want you to express why you are interested in that particular program, why you think you are the right candidate or the best candidate that should be selected among applicants that are competing for that scholarship or for that admission position. So they want you to articulate to them, they want you to show them why you should be the candidate that they will accept to the program or that they will award the scholarship to. So that is what a motivation letter or a statement of purpose, or in some cases they call it personal statement. So it may be called any of these name. It is basically the same thing. So that is what I'm going to tell you today. This document is very important because the scholarship awarding body or admission committee of institutions and universities, they usually pay attention to it in reading it to feel why they should invite you or accept you into the program. So they want to be sure that they are selecting the best candidate for the scholarship or for the admission. And they think one of the ways to do that is to read your motivation, your personal reason, your personal statement of purpose, why you think you are the right candidate, you are the best person for that. So you need to nail it. You need to kill it. It is very important. In fact, I know some universities in some countries that they actually sit down to score your motivation letter or statement of purpose. So when they score it, they will now score other documents, your academic record. They will also score your other aspect of your application, like a recommendation letter. So they will tally your score and then they put it beside all other applicants and they begin to pick from the highest performer to the lowest performer. So usually they will pick the highest performers and the lowest performers will usually be left out. So they actually rank this document in many situations. So you want to be sure you write a very, very good one, an outstanding one that will give you a chance to win the scholarship you are applying for or to be accepted into the program that you are seeking admission for. So this document is very, very important. So I will go ahead now and give you very important tips that you can use in writing this to stand out among applicants or scholarship applicant or admission applicant. Yes, I've had experience in writing several of these personally for my personal use. I've helped people review their motivation letter and statement of purpose, several reviews I've done for people. So I'm a little familiar with what reviewers and admission committee or scholarship awarding committee are looking for there. So the first tip I will give to you is that before you start writing a motivation letter or you start writing a statement of purpose, first make sure you read the details of the program or the scholarship that you are applying to. Read it, digest it, understand it. Don't read it once, read it more than once. Make sure you understand what they expect of you. Make sure you understand what the program is about. If there are details that are mentioned in the program, make sure you understand them. Because understanding this thing will give you the right to, will put your mind in the right frame when you start writing your motivation letter or your statement of purpose. This is extremely important. Don't start writing a motivation letter without properly reading the details of the program, the scholarship. Let me give for instance, there are scholarships that are targeted at development purpose and they want candidates that we, after winning the scholarship, going through the program, will be able to use the knowledge they gain on the program that the scholarship awarded to them, give them the opportunity to go back and impact their community. And sometimes they state it as part of the details of the program. So you want to understand that, you want to have that at the back of your mind before you start writing your motivation letter or your statement of purpose. You want to know what the reviewer, the committee, will be looking for in your statement of purpose. So the first thing is that make sure you read and understand the details of the program, what they want, what they are looking for, the objective of the program, if it's just an admission program or a study program, if it's a scholarship, what is the objective and the goals that the people, the organization or the scholarship awarding body wants to achieve. When you understand this thing, you are in a very good frame of mind to write a very good statement of purpose. So that is number one. Now, number 2 points that you need to keep in mind is that don't write a generic statement of purpose. I've heard of situations that people use the same statement of purpose or motivation letter for 5 different programs. There is no way that these 5 different programs will be expecting exactly the same thing from you. In fact, there is very little chances that they will be exactly replica program, that the 5 of them will be exactly titled the same way, focus on the same thing. Yeah, so you can't afford to use a generalized statement of purpose or motivation letter. So each program you are applying for, each scholarship you are applying for, your motivation letter or your statement of purpose has to be specific for that program. It has to be specific. Yes, I understand you can have a general frame, a general template that you have, but it must be adjusted, it must be edited, it must be updated to fit the specific program that you are applying for per time, the specific scholarship that you are submitting it to. Make sure it is specific for it. Don't use a generalized statement of purpose to apply for programs. It will likely be a disadvantage to you. That is that. And I also want to tell you that as one of the tips, I would suggest that you write your statement of purpose, or if not every part of it, or the initial part of it, the introductory part of it, in a storytelling format. The reason is simple. If you write in a storytelling format, your reviewer or the committee that is sitting to decide who to award the program to can feel what you are communicating. It will not just sound distant to them. It will not sound abstract to them. They will be able to feel you, feel where you are coming from your story. So your personal story now, not just write any story. You write your personal story and inculcate it into this program, and then connect it to why you are interested in the program that you are applying to. So it is usually very advisable that you approach it in a storytelling format where you inject some feelings, some emotions that the reviewer, the people reading it, the people that are making decision about your application can have some feeling and relate with your story. That gives you a better chance. It gives you emotional advantage to them, because it's just like you are appealing to their emotion while you're also presenting facts. The people that are reading it, they are emotional beings. They want something they can feel and relate with. So that is very important. The next point I'm going to talk about is that it is also possible that the program mentions specific things they want you to address in your motivation letter. If the program tell you to address specific aspects, maybe your research experience, your work experience, or your background, they want you to talk about your educational background, make sure you address those things. So there are programs that will specify that you should address some things. If they specify that you should address particular things, make sure you address such things. I will also tell you that you should not repeat what is everything that is in your CV. Yeah, sometimes people make that mistake. They just take their CV and they convert it into story format as their motivation letter. That will not count as a positive for you, because this committee already have your CV with them. So they don't need a repetition of your CV in a story format. They want to see something that is not captured in your CV. So focus and pay more attention to things that are not captured, the experiences, your achievements, your skills that are not captured in your CV, and your maybe your ability that cannot be captured in your CV. So focus more on those ones. Yes, I know that there may be some information that will be in your CV that we have to get into it, but don't just go and copy your CV and repeat and put everything in word into essay format as your motivation letter. It will not hurt to you, because you are not giving them an additional information for making decision to that you should be the one that they will award the scholarship to or accept to the program. It is also important that you talk about the values that you will bring to the program. As much as the scholarship or the program you're applying to is primarily to benefit you, it is also good that you put at the back of your mind that it will be an advantage to you if you can show the reviewer that apart from the benefits you are going to get from the program, there are contributions you can also make to the program, maybe to other participants, to other students, to other candidates that will be on the program. So you can talk about the cultural perspective, the where you are coming from, the experience you have, the work experience the research experience, maybe you are applying for a PhD scholarship or PhD program, the research background you have, the cultural background you have, and the whatever can count as a plus to you that you think you can bring to the table that will enrich the program. Yeah, that is the word, that will enrich the program. You want to the reviewer, the person that is making decision on this scholarship or this program, to see that you are valuable to the program. You are not just coming to the program to get, you are also bringing some contribution to the program. So that is very important. Another tip I will try to mention is that don't copy and paste from the internet. Yes, there are samples of motivation letter and statement of purpose all over the internet. Don't make the mistake of going there, download one, copy it, and paste it as your motivation letter. The truth is that it will not perfectly fit into your program. That is one. Two, it is also plagiarism. And there are chances that the person that will review your application may check whether you copy it from somewhere. So if there by any chance he checks that you copy it from somewhere, you can know that is the end of your application. You won't likely be considered because they know you are not original. They know that is also intellectual theft. You are copying somebody's intellectual work and presenting it as your own. That is not the kind of candidate they are looking for. Yes, you can download and read a few sample statement of purpose or motivation letter from the internet to get an idea of how to present your point, how to write the sequence of presenting your point, the flow of it, the expression of it, how to properly use storytelling, how to make sure everything synchronized perfectly in your motivation letter. Yes, read it, but don't copy and paste in your motivation letter. It is not a good idea. Also, it is important that you write correct English. Correct English. Your English needs to be good. So if you need to use a software, a program to check the accuracy, the flow of your expression, your grammatical correctness, your spelling, your punctuation, it's important. It's post up the reviewer if he sees obvious and glaring grammatical error in your statement of purpose. It puts him off. So you don't want to make that mistake. I also suggest that after writing your motivation letter or statement of purpose, get at least one person to read it through for you. The chances are that someone else will see some mistakes that you made that you didn't see, even if you read it 20 times by yourself. So get someone that can also read through for you and point out maybe mistakes, omissions that you make in in your motivation letter. Also, don't try to over impress the reviewer. Most of the time that will not serve your good. Okay, don't try to over impress the reviewer. Yes, you should sound confident in your motivation letter. You should highlight your achievements. Yeah, if you are a first class candidate, you should highlight that you achieve a first class honor in your undergraduate study. Yes, your achievement is very important. If you have history of winning awards, scholarship, highlight them, but don't try to over impress them, and make sure you are not coming across as arrogant. Yeah, confidence and arrogant are not the same thing. You should highlight your achievement, but don't sound arrogant. If you sound arrogant, the reviewer can feel it and it will likely count against you when they are making their decision. You want to sound confident, you want to tell them your achievement, you want to show them the reason why you are the right or one of the best candidates for the program or for the scholarship, while at the same time, you don't want to sound arrogant to them. You want them to feel cool with you while you are passing your points and your achievements across to them. And the final tip I'm going to give on this in this video is that your first paragraph and your last paragraph, that means your opening paragraph and your closing paragraph, they need to kill it. They must be impeccable, near faultless. The reason is that you want to start with your first paragraph to create an impression in the mind of the reviewer or the committee that is sitting to make a decision on your application that you are one of the best candidates they will come across. So you want to condition their mind as they are reading through the body of your motivation letter. You need to condition their mind with your first paragraph, your introductory paragraph. So make it impeccable, make it something they can relate with, they can connect with. So as soon as they start reading your motivation letter, they can connect with what you are talking about. And from there, you can begin to win their confidence and their interest in you. So it is very important. And it is equally important that your last paragraph, which is your concluding paragraph, it is also very important that it is also near perfect or very good. The reason is also that you want to close with a good impression too, because most likely after reading your statement of purpose or motivation letter, they will score it or they make a decision on it almost immediately. So as they are finishing reading your motivation letter, you want to also conclude with a very good impression. So you want to start with a good impression, you want to close with a very good impression to improve your chance of being the candidate they will accept into the program. I want to believe that these few points and tips I've shared with you will help you to write an outstanding statement of purpose or motivation letter as you apply for scholarship and study program. Thank you once again for stopping by my channel. Please remember to press the notification button and to subscribe to my channel so that you can uh, watch more video and see more video from me on scholarship and study abroad. Thank you once again and see you later.